guys and gals, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Gearheadgirl, and today we're going to be going over how to tighten the chain on your Ninja 250. So as you can see here, there's a ton of slack, so we're going to tighten that up today. So you can see some of the tools that we will be using today. And you're going to want a 24, a 14, and a 12, and a 17 as well. Alright, if you've got a rear stand, now is the time to use it. Otherwise, you can use a jack and very carefully jack it up just so that you get that movement in the rear wheel. Next, we're going to be taking our needle nose to remove a cotter pin on the castle nut. And once you have that cotter pin out, put it in a safe place, and then go ahead and back off your castle nut. So I've got my foot on the 24 wrench holding the castle nut, and I'm just rotating the 17, effectively getting the 24 off. So you can see now the 24 is nice and loosened off. So you don't have to take it all the way off, but we just got it loosened off so that we can adjust the chain. All right, so you can see these little tick marks here, and then this main tick mark here. And again, on the other side, main tick mark, all the little tick marks. And basically, that should be the same distance from here to here on each side. Hence why we have our tape measure to assure that everything's good once we're done. So, this is your locking nut, so you're going to want to back this off, and then we're going to adjust it using this one. So you back off the 12, and then you're going to adjust using the 14 on both sides. So you can see right now, we've got just all sorts of play. The chain is way too loose. So we're going to use our 14 to hold that in place and just back off the 12. All right, so now we've got our jam nut loose. On that side, we'll do the same on this side. Jam nuts are loose, and we're trying to keep the 14 still. As you can see, we've got the rear end jacked up a little bit. You want this wheel to be able to be loose enough to spin. And you can see here where we backed off the 12mm jam nut, and now we're going to adjust it evenly on both sides using the 14. Now you can see here there's a lot of threads already exposed, so this chain has probably been tightened before. We do have a replacement on the way, but in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and tighten it up again because there's just way too much play in that. When we move the 14 adjuster nut, that it's going to adjust on here as well. So we'll just go ahead and tighten that in. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 faces in. All right, so now that we've changed it on that side, we'll go ahead and jump over to the other side and do 4 turns here, 4 turns here. Now we'll check our chain tension. So you can check the Kawasaki manual. I believe it's like 0.8 to 1.2. I just like to eyeball it. I do run my chain a little bit looser than most people. So it's going to be tighter and looser in different spots. So you want to make sure that you have it set for the tightest spot so you don't end up breaking a chain. Because if you have it set right at the loosest part of the chain, it might be too tight when the tight spot comes around. Alright, so you want to keep doing these adjustments, whether it's tightening or loosening, until you get your optimum tension, as according to the Kawasaki manual. And just remember, you want to keep checking your chain. Every time you make an adjustment, just check all the points on it so that you're not over tightening it. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, when we go to tighten this, so since everything's loose back here, you can kind of see it move. This part will move, which in turn moves this. So even if you mark up the ticks on here, if you tighten it on an angle, that's not going to work for you, and it's not going to be good, and it's not going to ride well. So with this, That is where your tape measure can come in handy. So once you do have it tightened, you'll measure from that center tick all the way to the edge, and it should match on both sides. If not, you need to reevaluate what you've done. So to try to make sure that everything lines up correctly, we're going to get rid of all the slack in the chain. We're just going to take a screwdriver, stick it in the sprocket, and roll the wheel. Like so. Now, I don't know if you can see that. There's no movement in the chain. So I'm just going to use my foot to hold the wheel there, or else it'll pop back out. Going to take a look at that first. And we're going to put the jam nuts right up against the 14s. Very carefully, this is important. Make sure that the 14s do not move when you lock these down. Otherwise, your adjustment will be off. All right, once those are secure, you can go ahead and tighten down your castle nut. So you can use your 17 on the chain side and your 24 on the brake side. All right, so once you've tightened everything up, you can go ahead and release the wheel, grab your screwdriver back out, and check your tension once more. Then use your tape measure and get your precise measurements. So we're happy with that. We'll go ahead and reinstall our cotter pin. Spread those back out. And then you're all done. Alright, so you can see we've reinstalled our cotter pins. The lock nuts are secure on both sides. Here on both sides, we've measured the distance from this mark to the edge, and they are the same on both sides, and we are ready to go. Now is also a really good time to lube the chain since we have everything up and ready. Alright guys and gals, so thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys back for the next one. See ya. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and like and comment if you enjoyed this video. If you want to be awesome and provide support for better content, click on the Patreon link in the description below. Check us out online at gearheadgirl69.com or GHG69.com, or follow us on Instagram and TikTok at gearheadgirl69.